Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're in the brand new Ferrari 296 GT3 car at Sebring for a track guide. This isn't my favourite track, but it can be very fun once you begin to understand it more. This lap was done with the fixed setup, which is the same setup that's used in the GT3 series in iRacing. Before we start, I'd like to ask you all to subscribe to my channel as we're nearly at 1000 subscribers. First I'll show you an unedited lap and then I'll do a guided lap. Let's get into it. So, for turn 1, I brake just after the yellow line ends on the right. I shift down to 4th gear and trail brake all the way to the apex. You want to get as close to the inside wall as possible and then be careful on the throttle as the exit is blind and the car tends to understeer. For this left-hander I brake just after the 3 cones hard down to 2nd gear. I take a late apex and avoid the curbs on both the left and the right here to avoid unsettling the car. On the exit I lift slightly to keep the car on the right side of the track to set up for the next corner. This left-hander is very difficult to get right. I brake to around 30% at the curb on the right and keep the car in 2nd gear. I stay to the right and turn in late to get a good exit onto the straight. I'm trail braking the entire way through the corner. This exit curb looks bad but it's actually okay to use. The first hairpin I brake just after the 4 cones and use 1st gear. You have to go very wide on the entry as the exit is very narrow. On the exit I found the tyres did spin up quite easily, so gradually come back onto the throttle. With iRacing's new update to the grass, it's very important to not touch the grass on the small kink after the hairpin here, as it will lose tons of time down the straight. For the next hairpin I brake just before the 3 cones again and use 1st gear. I found that the car tended to over-rotate mid-corner, so to mitigate this I trail off the brake very quickly to induce some understeer to keep the car balanced. I take a mid-apex and gradually come back on throttle at the inside curb on the exit to avoid spinning the wheels. Here I brake at the 3 cones and turn in at the colour change in the tarmac. I use 2nd gear and the inside curb, and don't use any of the inside curbs, it can unsettle the car if you take too much of it. I get back on throttle just after the curb and use all of the exit of course. This is the most difficult complex in the track in my opinion. I brake at the 3 cones and use 3rd gear. I turn in late and hook the car on the inside curb for more rotation on the right. Then I cut the end of the curb on the left to open up the next corner. I trail brake slightly and use 2nd gear. You can use a lot more of the curb than I do here, but you can get an off track if you take too much. I get back on the throttle just before the apex. For the final corner I both brake and begin to turn in at the 2 cones on the left. I stay around the middle of the track at first and use 3rd gear. I trail brake throughout the entire corner. I get back on throttle just before I apex at the inside wall, but I am cautious as I don't want to understeer into the exit wall here on the left. So that was a lap of Sebring. If you found this guide helpful, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. I will now leave you with the 3rd person lap to the end of the video.